Hey everyone. So for this video, it's gonna be a kind of a different kind of first viewing thoughts, given how it's one I saw on I forgot, like, just the other day, and kind of slipped on my radar initially. He played a competition, but I thought I might take a crack at it because of the current situation with my star. As for what happened at the awards, I think my take probably closer to Daniel Radcliffe, so I know I'm kind of getting just kind of bored by the whole situation. That aside, let's talk about how my first viewing thoughts on thought I'd give my first viewing thoughts on the 2019 film Gemini Man, directed by Ang Lee. The film home was features Will Smith in a dual role as the aging hitman Henry Brogan, who retire from his profession and live to the end of his life in his home Buttermilk Sound, Georgia. Uh, Yet is also targeted by a clone of himself, known mainly as Junior, and it features some, for the most part, pretty impressive digital de-aging technology, which is a bit of tech that's gotten increasingly more advanced since I first saw it in Tron Legacy in 2010, and even though there are still some instances where it kind of looks like where it occasionally looks like a video game cutscene, like this whole bit when the ending as well as the denouement where another one enters the fray. For the most part, it does come together alright, and also apparently, they also want to do another experiment filming at high frame speed at a 120 frames per second, which is like faster than the human eye can register. So much so that no currently available venue in the US could even show it in its intended format. So there's that. That said, I do suppose the movie at least looked impressive just watching it at home, like how my displays all max out at 1080p currently. I am looking to get a 4K one in the near future. But with that being the case, I am also of the I definitely, my opinion is consistent with most audiences where even though it got middling reception critically, and didn't do too well financially, I just think it's okay. I mean, and also if you have flashbacks to other similar films that from a previous time frame, like say like Minority Report or The Sixth Man, you're not alone. I mean, because apparently the first draft of the script was written in 1997, and they were limited by what they could do at the time, and they're waiting for the tech to get good enough that it could work. But at the same time, it's not the plot is not as compelling as it could have been. Like they could have really leaned into the whole old guard versus new blood concept they're proposing, and it's something I agree with. And in both the case to Fomento as well as the Agony Booth, with Rest in Peace, his website, you definitely played a major influence on my writing style, man. And that, I mean, even though it's definitely not the most compelling characterization or script I've seen, the action does work quite well for the most part, especially this whole finale in this small town where one of the assassins basically turns like a convenience store into Swiss cheese full of bullets once, and also like the chase scene and it's on the advertising, and even some of the close up melee fights actually work pretty well. All and actually have fewer cuts, and even though it's a faster frame rate, it definitely works for the most part pretty effectively. And since again my displays have fractional refresh rate, so even though it registers in your head, it don't physically see it yet, and they at least understood how to frame things properly. I mean, cinematographer is very good on this. The editor has also been working with Ang Lee ever since he was directing music videos and smaller, low budget films. And even if it's not quite the same level of visual spectacle as Life of Pi, or even Crouching Tiger for that matter, it definitely he at least looks impressive, even if the plot is definitely not what I was hot as up to snuff either. The performances are also relatively solid. Not on top of like the dual role that's in the title, we have a good supporting cast of ones like Clive Owen, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, as well as Benedict Wong, on all of whom at least understand what kind of movie they're in and play towards that. I mean, Owen in particular is definitely making an effort as the defense contractor who signed off on this project. Even with some of the subtext in view, who his role, I believe, it's Clay. It does reasonably well. Since, but at the same time, there's not a whole lot else I can say. About it got a 5.7 out of 10 IMDb rating. A 33% critical Rotten Tomatoes score, though based on the audience ratings, it seems that people are a bit more forgiving of it. That actually see the thing. Where which comes the next part. It cost $138 million to make for marketing, and only made about $173 million worldwide. With only $48 million in the States, due to coming out a week after the smash hit Joker and the same time as the 2019 Addams Family reboot, both of which definitely had much easier to sell audiences on, where a man being pushed so far he becomes a villain, as well as like a creepy and kooky family. And I don't know what the long-term impact of that pimp hand will be, but short term, it's definitely has caused a lot of conversation and memes. I think I kind of lost my means of adding more to the conversation, and when they turned it into a Pokemon battle, a lightsaber duel, and the opening Street Fighter 2, among many others. And also another bit where apparently there's a scene where they bond with stale crackers, even though they're technically non-perishable, and you can at least manage them. But personally, I prefer fresh ones. That'll be all I got to say for now. I am almost done my script for No Way Home, and I'll definitely talk to you all in my review of that. So take care, everyone.